I don't know what to do with my hands, so I keep them up here.
That's why I said just grab hold and hold on.
Either that or claps them together. That's what I
Right.
notice people do. I don't know. I've never been on that end of it, so it's a lot easier over here.
Yeah.
Ty, you're a new Bobcat. You just got here a few months ago. Just went through your first spring practice. How were your general thoughts of Texas State and playing for this team?
So far, it's been awesome. You know, it's a different atmosphere than NC State in a good way, I'd say. A lot of family atmosphere. You know, everyone cares about each other. I can hit up, you know, Sherm or Connor if I have anything, you know, from apartment to football that I need to talk about. I know I can hit up any of the guys if, you know, my car's stuck in a ditch. And, you know, I just love being in San Marcos. I wasn't sure about Texas to begin with, but, you know, I've loved it so far. I've heard the heat is going to kill me, but, you know, I'm just ready for it.
Yeah, how different is it than Colorado and even North Carolina?
I think it's a lot more different because a lot of people care about football here. You know, Texas football, that's kind of what you think of when you think of football. In Colorado, you know, it's not really a big culture. It's becoming a lot more big culture. And then in North Carolina, you know, you got a lot of colleges that compete for fan bases. You know, you got NC State, Duke, and North Carolina within like 40 miles or something. And here, you know when you're in San Marcos, you're surrounded by a bunch of Bobcat fans, and you know, really enjoyed it.
When was the first time you realized, like, when you came to the states, like, oh wow, like people care about football really differently than other states?
I think it was really just throughout the winter. You know, when I'm around the guys and we're all talking about high school football and, you know, the culture and stuff like that, it's just different here than, you know, North Carolina, Colorado. I don't want to just, you know, talk smack about those two states, but in my experiences, it's just been different.
It's more of a religion here. We get it.
Yeah.
We all know.
Right.
You know, in that spring game, it's kind of a slow start for you, and you really started picking up with that last drive or two, especially that last drive where you got that touchdown pass and all that. How did you feel about your performance inside?
You know, like you said, I thought I started off slow with that fumble. You know, I was kind of kicking myself and going back to the sideline. Had to, you know, recenter. But, you know, I thought I ended out well, doing some right reads. It's just, you know, I had 3 drives is hard because, you know, in a regular game, 3 drives is when you start getting some kind of rhythm and momentum and you feel the game out. And it's hard to, you know, try to, I don't know, speed that process up. You know, a big thing for me personally is I always want to go out there and kind of let the game come to me. I played a lot of basketball. It's kind of like basketball when you're playing point guard. I don't want to force anything. And, you know, I think I found that rhythm on the last drive.
You know, you had that, they were doing some RPO action. I saw you get like a 14-yard run.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that in your arsenal. Is that something you're known for?
I think it depends on who you ask. I definitely got it. I got it if I need to have it. I'm definitely known Lamar Jackson, but if it's open, I'm going to take it. I'm going to run.
You know, this is your first time really. I guess you've been doing all spring practice for your first game type setting where you got to throw to these wide receivers. And there's some talented guys out there, Barbie, Waydell Jones, Javon Banks. What did you, how'd you feel about getting the toss to those guys?
I mean, it's awesome. Everyone knows how special those guys are. You know, JB's catching with one hand. Barbie's jumping over people to catch the ball. You know, even Waddell's up there snagging balls. You know, everyone, you know what you're getting from a wide receiver group. And I think the guys that they're bringing in, it's only going to get better, and they're just going to push each other more. You know, those guys are freaks, and they're hard workers too. So it was great. I loved it. You know, every day coming out here, you know exactly who you're throwing to.
How comfortable are you with this offense and the weapons you do have around you?
I'm getting a lot more comfortable. You know, this is my 3rd offense just because at NC State we went through 2 different offenses while I was there. And, you know, my experience is going to take until, you know, around mid-spring, fall camp until I can, you know, really just naturally just go with it. You know, you can tell now I get the signals and I'm processing, you know, the operational stuff, what to do. You know, and then I try to just not wing it, but play with confidence out there. And, you know, even if I get my back up against the wall, I'm trying to make plays.
How was your Brady and Ty making it for you to, you know, pick up the offensive ability?
Oh, those guys have been awesome. You know, I've been asking a lot of questions to everybody. If that's with Spav, Pat, Brady, you know, everybody. I just want to learn everything I can right now and just try to get as acquainted as I can in the offense.
What's the biggest difference coming into Jake Spavital's system than kind of the system you were at NC State, especially with having two offensive coordinators over there?
I wouldn't say it's a lot more efficient than the other offenses I've been in. You know, in the past, you kind of see similarities in the offense, and I personally thought it could have been more efficient. But here, you know, we really have our base plays, and then we're really good at our bread and butter, and then, you know, we throw in, you know, those plays that nobody's seen before, the plays that are unspeakable about, you know, that we didn't show in the spring game that apparently I can't talk about. But
You can talk.
hey, I don't want to step on anybody, so this is my first one. I got to at least have a couple seasons before I can start giving you guys plays. But, you know, it's just a lot more efficient, fast, and, you know, when we play well, we get that momentum going. You guys see how effective it can be.
What's been the one thing you've learned most this spring?
It's kind of just, you got to learn when to extend the play, and then you got to learn when to, you know, cut the play, cut your losses, and move on. Is a thing that I've been trying to work on. And then, you know, I'd probably just say my confidence level has risen a lot more this spring. You know, kind of just, you got to start believing in yourself, and that was kind of when I was in the portal. You know, I had nobody, you know, like coaches out there. I kind of had to just build up my confidence in myself when I went home and was working out. And, you know, that's kind of what I've been focused on in the spring.
You know, coming over from a P5 program to Texas State, how do the offensive lines compare, Texas State's to theirs? Because I know they've recruited a lot of big guys on the offensive line for this year and kind of increased the size there. Do you feel like they're comparable?
Oh yeah, they're definitely comparable. You know, there's the same level guy. I think everyone, when you go to a Power 5 or Group 5 school, the big guys are big guys. You know, they're built different, and I think the only difference is we just, you know, we need to build our depth of our line more. So it's not, you know, as big of a drop off, but, you know, our 1-0 line can compete with anybody.
There's a lot of Colorado connections here at Texas State. I mean, you know, you were at Colorado, and then, you know, Marcel Barbie was also at Colorado. Are y'all guys pretty close with each other?
Oh yeah, you know, me, Marcel, you know, me, Micah, we all talk about, you know, playing in high school, and I always give crap to Micah about, you know, not winning state championship, and he's gonna be mad at me for saying that, but he's the only one without one from Colorado. Just want to put that in there, but you know, we all, it's fun to, you know, sit back and talk about, you know, playing Pop Warner together, and, you know, I never really played with Marcel, but, you know, I knew about him, and I watched him a couple times, and, you know, it's great to have people from my state.
Is there something that with these last few days of spring practice between now and fall camp, what's one thing that you really want to get better at, that you want to improve?
You know, like I said, kind of just being able to run the offense like the back of my hand. And then, you know, building the chemistry with my wide receivers, you know, knowing where they're going to be before they're there, kind of thing. And, you know, that just takes time. You know, it's not something that you can rush. We got a lot of that in before spring ball, and, you know, now we just build on it.
You said that you made a basketball reference. You get buckets?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a ceiling, obviously, but I knew when to focus on football and where the money was going to be at for me. But, you know, I played a little point guard back in the day. Yeah.
You know, Micah was talking about he's a real good basketball player too, speaking of the Colorado connection. Have y'all ever gone one-on-one?
Not yet, but, you know, he better hope it's not soon.
That's a public challenge. Everybody print it.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Sweet. Thank you, guys. Great job, Tyler.
Good to meet you.